Welcome back to the wild world of travel. We have been looking at how to retire for cheap in Puglia, Italy. We have several videos that we have recently made that go over why those thinking about retiring in Italy might want to look at Puglia. We have been looking at a few properties in a specific town in Puglia in each video. In this retiree for cheap in Puglia video, we are going to very briefly touch on some of the details and pretty much jump right into a few properties in Carovigno, Italy. But first, let's quickly cover a few of the main highlights of why retiring for cheap in Puglia is possible for expats. There are several 7% income tax regions in southern Italy. Puglia is one of these regions. This is a big opportunity because taxes in Italy normally are between 23 and 43%. To get the 7% income tax in Puglia, you must live in a town of less than 20,000 people. Carovigno, the town we are about to look at, is one of those towns. We also looked at Cisternino in 2 videos very recently. There are also income requirements to qualify for the 7% income tax in Puglia. You must have passive income, or retirement income, of at least 31,000 euros, or 34,000 US dollars for a single applicant, and 38,000 euros, or 42,000 US dollars for a couple. There is a dual taxation treaty between the United States and Italy. This treaty is designed to prevent you from being taxed on the same income by both countries. Under this agreement, you won't be taxed twice on the same income. If you want to learn more about the financial details of retiring for cheap in Puglia and the 7% flat tax, our first retiree in Puglia video in particular cover that, and we will link to that video in the description. Nestled in the heel of Italy's boot, Puglia offers an idyllic blend of natural beauty and historical charm that make it an ideal spot for expats looking to retire in Italy comfortably and affordably. The mild Mediterranean climate provides warm summers and mild winters, ideal for enjoying outdoor activities year-round. Carovigno has a rich history with landmarks such as the Dentiste di Frasso Castle. The local culture is vibrant, with festivals, markets, and traditional events. Housing, food, and daily expenses are generally very affordable, making it an attractive destination for retirees looking to retire for cheap in Puglia. Puglia is renowned for its culinary delights, and Carovigno is no exception. The region offers fresh seafood and locally grown produce. Additionally, Puglia produces some of Italy's finest wines, which can be enjoyed at local vineyards and restaurants. The relaxed pace of life, combined with friendly locals, provides a serene and enjoyable environment for an affordable retirement in Italy. Our first property is a nicely renovated 2-bedroom, 900 square foot apartment in Carovigno, currently priced at 104,000 euros. It is on the 3rd floor with a lift. The property consists of an entrance living room, a kitchenette that should be suitable for all your cooking needs, 2 bedrooms that appear relatively large based on this picture, and a bathroom that I would not call large, but it should work just fine. I don't know that there is anything that particularly stands out about this apartment, but it appears move-in ready and has enough space where you should be comfortable. As we look at the map, we can see the apartment represented by the yellow pin in the center of the map. Al Bachetto and Carefor Express are both very close to the apartment. We looked at both of these spots in our previous Carovigno video. Al Bachetto is rated 4.3 on Google, and the expectation is 10 to 25 euros for dinner. The Italian cuisine is nice at this restaurant. Eat nicely cooked fish, pizza, and antipasto. Carefor Express is a grocery store. Other restaurants that we see on the map that we also looked at in the previous retiree in Puglia for cheap video include Fantasy Pizza, which is your local pizza restaurant, and Pomodoro Food Truck. Pomodoro Food Truck is rated 4.7 on Google and is projected to be under 10 euros for dinner. The food truck offers mostly street-side barbecue with a lovely and friendly staff, according to reviews. Samarco Wine Bar and Grocery was probably my favorite restaurant. In our first retiree in Cisternino video, it is rated 4.9 on Google and is located in the town center. It's actually a wine bar with groceries. The Samarco Wine Bar combines sustainable agriculture with a tasting experience. Their grocery provides sustainable wines and local products, ideal for gifts. There are some restaurants on this map that we have not yet explored. Articolo is a bar that we can see circled on the right side of the map. It has some pretty interesting looking food items. Cantinon Coppola Rosa is between Al Boschetto and Fantasy Pizza in the center of the map. Margarita pizza is €6. Spaghetti with clams is €12, and they have several fish items between €10 and €15. Our next property is 690 square feet with 2 bedrooms and is going for €130,000. That's a little more expensive than what we have been looking at, but let's see what we get for it. This elegant and newly built apartment consists of 2 bedrooms that look pretty modern and quite nice. There is a kitchen that has space for a dining room table in it, a living room that is spacious enough that you could imagine having guests over, a bathroom that includes something called a hydromass age tub, chromotherapy, and shower. It looks nice. There is the possibility of enjoying the wonderful sunny days thanks to the cozy terrace. This apartment is 25 kilometers from Brindisi Airport, 4.6 kilometers from a train station. A hospital is 280 meters away. The coast is 7.3 kilometers away, and a ski resort is 160 kilometers in the distance. 330 meters away is a supermarket and 150 meters. From your front door is Ristorante Ippocampo. As we look at the map, we can see that some of our favorite places are not far away at all if you have a car. If you are walking, it might be a bit much. The train station is 4.6 kilometers away. I cannot say exactly how far away that bus stop is, but it is marked on the map with red border and filled in with yellow, while the apartment is circled in blue near the center of the map. If you are thinking of buying a car, the current cost of gasoline in Puglia is about €2 per liter. There are about 3.8 liters in a gallon, which means that we are looking at a little less than $8 per gallon. The second issue is an Italian driver's license. After living in Italy for 1 year, you can't drive on your American license, and you have to speak Italian basically at a B1 level to pass the driver's license. That is pretty proficient for a non-native speaker, so when looking at needing a car, there are considerations that are different from what you are likely used to. Our third property is 2 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet, and is going for €175,000. It is immersed in the wonderful Puglia countryside, a splendid finished and fenced villa surrounded by 20,000 square feet of land with olive trees, fig trees, lemon, plums, and apricots. The villa is surrounded by a garden of succulent and ornamental plants. There is a large entrance area that is unique, at least to American eyes, as well as a living room with plenty of room to entertain guests or family members, and 2 nice-sized bedrooms with marble floors, and a bathroom, although there is no picture of the bathroom provided. And there is a kitchen with kitchenette, fireplace, and this one has a couch in the kitchen. The property is located 20 kilometers from Brindisi Airport, 20 kilometers from Ostuni, and a little further from the neighboring villages such as Alberobello. It is 10 kilometers from the beaches of the Adriatic Sea. A train station is about 4 kilometers away. A hospital is also 4 kilometers from the property. A butcher shop is 1.7 kilometers away, and a bar is 3.8 kilometers away. As we look at the map, I think it's pretty obvious that you are going to need a car. The red in the middle of the map is the house. Carovigno and Ostuni are circled in purple on the left side of the map. Obviously, it is more in the country, and so you will not have as many people around you. You are still in a 7% tax region for this property. We will go over what the cost of living per month would be for each of these properties at the end of this video. And we have one more bonus property that is priced much higher than anything we have looked at. This one does not necessarily fit into the retiree for cheap in Puglia category, but I found it and thought we should look at it just for fun. This wonderful property is 4 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet, and is €550,000. The property is centered around the stunning 400 square foot pool, with the beautifully restored Trullo and Lamia to one side and the newly built villa to the other. The Trullo measures 200 square feet and has a high central cone and exposed stone ceiling. It has 3 alcoves and is currently used as a large independent bedroom. The Lamia of 180 square feet next door has a kitchen, dining area, and bathroom. It is attached to the Trullo by a covered seating area complete with an original pizza oven. The villa itself is approximately 900 square feet, has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. 2 of the bedrooms have private terraces. The central kitchen opens out to a rear-walled courtyard. The land of 90,000 square feet is full of mature plants and olive trees. Carovigno is 5 kilometers away. The beautiful city of Ostuni is 10 kilometers from the property. To live at this property, you clearly need a car. It appears that auto insurance will run an individual on average €100 per month in Italy. Getting a license in Italy will probably cost you somewhere between €500 and €1,000. From doing a quick search on cars for sale in Puglia, a 2011 Ford Fiesta with 115,000 kilometers is €5,500, and a 2019 Audi Q2 with the same mileage is €22,000. 115,000 kilometers is about 72,000 miles. The Ford would be about $6,000, while the Audi would be about $24,000. This seems roughly on par with what you would see in the United States based on a search of the same vehicles on cars.com. One interesting thing to highlight is that trains don't go to vineyards. So if that is something you want to experience as part of retiring for cheap in Italy, getting a driver's license and car might be worth it. Let's take a look at the financial breakdown for each of these properties. We're going to assume a 5% interest rate, 20% down, and a 30-year loan. The first property was selling for €104,000, so that would be about €21,000 down. This comes to a monthly payment of about €450 per month, which is currently about $490. The second property, which is selling for €130,000, would be €26,000 down and a monthly payment of €550 or about $600. The third property is €175,000 and would be €35,000 down and a monthly mortgage payment of €750 or about $820. The final property would be $110,000 down and would have a monthly mortgage payment of $2,400 per month in US dollars. For property number 1, the monthly cost of living would be mortgage for $490, utilities for $200, cell Wi-Fi for $35, entertainment for $250, groceries for $200, transportation for $10 if you rely on either walking or public transportation, health insurance for $175, and that gets us to a total of $1,360 per month. For the other 3 properties, we are going to assume that a car is required. I'm going to also assume that purchasing a car was a one-time thing and there are not monthly car payments. However, there is an additional $100 for car insurance and let's say $150 for gas. For the second property, that means an additional $250 per month as compared to the first property, plus an extra $110 for mortgage, but all other expenses would be the same. So that gets us to $1,720 per month. The third property has an additional $150 per month for mortgage, but everything else is the same as the second property, and that gets us to $1,870 per month. The fourth property has the much more expensive mortgage and totals $3,520 per month. If you were an individual who brought in exactly the minimum retirement amount to qualify for the 7% tax, which is $34,000, and if we said that you paid 15% taxes in the U.S., then you would receive a little over $2,800 per month before taxes and about $2,400 after taxes. Remember that you will pay the higher amount, but you will not be taxed twice. If we apply this example to the properties we have looked at in this video, the first 3 properties are affordable and the last one is not. The break-even point for the final property looks to be about $50,000 per year in retirement income. The details for how we got to some of these prices, such as health insurance, are covered in the previous videos in this series. The links to those videos are in the description. Thank you for taking this trip with us as we have explored a few places that you could retire for cheap in Puglia. Let us know which one is your favorite in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notifications bell So you don't miss more of our travel guide-based videos. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.